So welcome back. So this is a follow-up video regarding this video here, where I just discussed the 1.4 lens for photo on the digital age and my opinions and all about that. Just go and check it out. That one that it's playing here. Go on my YouTube channel. Go at on the playlist. Find that out. In the end, I'm going to link it there also, so you can, if you watch this, you can go back to that. We're going to watch me talking about this specific lens, its history and all its good stuff. So if you some image samples for all of that, and also don't forget and check out about the, where is it, that one lens there, the 1.8 that belong to the analog OM system. Yeah, so go and check all those videos out. But today it's all about this lens here on video. So I have my playlist. You'll see my 1.8 it's featured there on the original OM camera. You'll see my sample images of video and also about photography. Go on my channel and check it out. But today it's all about video with the 1.4. Okay, so the next thing, if you checked, and you should check my 1.8 video, next section is for me swapping out this lens there. And for the ones who don't know, the one there, it's the 35mm Yongnuo at wide open at f2. So this is kind of the 35mm. And if you go, I keep forgetting the numbers. If you do the math, so it's 35 times 1.6 crop factor on the Canon. So this is kind of roundabout the 56mm equivalent, roundabout. So that's a 35mm. So the lens I'm using here, it's the usual. It's the Yongnuo 35mm focal length. Sorry, and it's wide open at f2. So if you do the math, it's 35.1.6, which is the M200 camera that I'm using there. And it's kind of the crop factor. It's an APS-C sensor. So this is the 35mm on a crop sensor. This is what you get. This is the aperture. This is kind of, remember the book, how the background is going, the light, the fringing. It's very well controlled here. So this is the lens that I use daily on all my videos, autofocus and all of that. So I'm going to change now for the 1.4, the 50mm. Which means that you're going to get much closer to me. So 50 times 1.6, you're going to get an 80mm equivalent. So you're going to get really in my face. I'm going to try and focus as best as I can. And we're going to start at 1.4, the widest aperture that this goes. Then we're going to go down to f8 and I'm going to adjust the ISO accordingly so we can get a decent exposure. So the next shot is going to be with the 1.4. So here we are at 1.4. So I'm really closed up. See, so it's a really close angle. I could use that. That can be worked on with. And I'm trying to get myself in focus because this is a 80mm equivalent at 1.4, which is kind of the focused. It's a very narrow point of focus. So I'm acceptably in focus, and it looks great. And 1.4, as you can see here, the background, it's really melting. If this is a reminder to myself, go and put here in the corner a shot or put a quick shot of the 35 at f2. So at 1.4, I'm still pretty nicely exposed. I didn't change nothing, so it's the same thing. So this is at 1.4. ISO it's 200 if I'm not mistaken. And the shutter speed is it's a 1 to 1/20th, and yeah, it's a double of 60 FPS. So 1.4, the fringing is really very well controlled. There is not much color or any at all. It's not distracting. But as you can see, the camera, it's right there. I can touch it. It's right here. It's right there. I cannot stretch my arm. It's what, 50 centimeters away from me, maybe less. And it's already melting. You cannot see nothing of my curtains here. So background is gone. So I'm going to put it at f2, no cuts, nothing. You'll see it live and I'll adjust the ISO if needed. So going to f2. Okay, F2. So I will not adjust the ISO. I'm still decently exposed. I don't see the need to adjust it. And this is F2, so though the same aperture that this the young Novo operates. So I don't have autofocus. This is manual focus. So the same aperture. Maybe if I remember to put it here also, a little sample of the previous segment. Man, I'm already pretty focused. Like I have some wiggle room out of here, not here. I'm back in focus, and I could use this all day long. No big of a deal. So the downside, if you can call it a downside, is the lack of autofocus. But that's something. Well, that's just to be expected. Let's go down one stop. Okay, we are f2.8. I will not adjust ISO for now, because I don't want to get up again. But as you can see, you can now see my curtains here. You can distinguish the curtains. Yeah, at f1.4, at f2, it was, especially at f1.4, it was just impossible to detect. So let's go down one. So f4, ISO 400 now. So everything is coming back to focus. And I look maybe a little bit of ISO higher, but that's kind of something in personal preference. The background is coming up, and I'm perfectly in focus. I see no problem. So let's go one more. So f5.6, ISO 800 now. Maybe I'm a little bit under, but that's again personal preference. You can basically see all my studio, or most of my studio in the background. You can see the OM lens there and the OM camera. And let's go one more. Sorry, I just hit the mic. So this is ISO 1000, more or less. I'm a little bit underexposed. Let me just... Okay. ISO 1600. And as you can see, I'm pretty much nice. I'm very in focus. I'm looking pretty decently, and I'm awesome. But you can see everything behind me. So everything is getting revealed. My background, my studio background, and I'm pretty much in focus. Like I have plenty of wiggle room right now. As you can see, it works just fine for video. Of course, the lack of autofocus can be a problem, but it is what it is. Just for funsies, f16, and I can just push the ISO a little bit. So at f16, I need to push the ISO quite a bit, but ISO 8000, and you can see a little blemish on the lens. I need to clean it. It's noticeable. It's so funny. Because it's f16 again. Everything's in focus now. So let's go back to f1. Okay, ISO 125, and maybe it's too bright. And ISO 100. Right now, everything is just it just disappeared. My whole background disappeared, and that little blemish, it's not visible because that's just how it works. And the focus, well, I am right about in focus here. So I would use this all day. If I could get my camera just a teensy bit more behind, or I can work with this angle. It's not that bad. I mean, I'm a little bit cut out, but we could make it work. You can see the camera back there. So this is actually a usable angle. And a very usable lens. Everything just melts behind me. If I just increase the ISO a little bit, everything will just melt. I'm going to be a little bit overexposed. I'm a lot overexposed right now. So here, I'm decently exposed and my background just, bam, it's gone. It's non-existent. So this is the silver lens, the Zuiko 1.4 for the IM system, mounted on the M200. It's an APS-C lens sensor, so it's an 18mm equivalent. So 1.4, what do you think? Would you use this? I would use it all day. Maybe I'll use it more often because I actually like this talking head angle and I don't really need the autofocus. It looks great. Maybe I'll use it more often. Maybe the next time you see a video of mine where I'm at this angle, I'm actually using this lens because it's awesome. Or an OM 50mm lens, not the OM, or a EOS lens, just to get the autofocus on me so I can have that luxury of the autofocus. So the 50mm angle, the 50mm perspective, it's actually pretty nice. I like it so much that I'm going to keep it while I say goodbye. Let me know in the comments below. In the comments below if you have any questions about this lens or any other video. Let me just ask you to like and subscribe because that really helps, and comment down below, that helps even further. And I see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.